Happy Monday, everybody. Big Country here, and welcome to our first edition of our weekly real estate/mortgage news update. I'm excited to be bringing these to you guys. We're going to try to do it on a weekly basis every Monday. You'll get these to your inbox if you're currently on my mailing list. If not, you can check it out on our social media platforms at facebook.com/teambctx. You can also get me on Twitter. My handle is @RepinAustin. That's REPIN Austin. So what we're going to try to do is just take a couple of things, try to keep it under about 5 minutes or so, and share some news stories. Some of it could be in the mainstream media, some of it could not, but at least some information that could be misconstrued out there that will help better serve our mutual clients. So today I'm going to reach my pocket kind of far back. I'm going to go to January to talk about our first item today. Back in the beginning of January, HUD put out a press release and stated that they were going to be reducing the mortgage insurance premium on FHA loans, basically from 0.85 basis points to 0.55 basis points. Now, I know that doesn't mean a lot to folks out there who don't do these calculations on a daily basis. So to give you an example, on a $150,000 loan, it's about a $40 a month savings. That could be huge, right, for qualification purposes. So we were fairly excited in our industry and actually had already started pre-qualifying people on the new rate. However, when the new administration took over on January 20th, they said, hey, hold up, not quite so fast. And there was a lot of confusion out there. So here's the story as I know it. Basically, the old administration used a specific model to determine that this was a healthy move for FHA. However, they didn't share that with the new administration. And so when the new administration took office, they said, hey, hold up, we don't want to do that just yet. We want to make sure that FHA is financially stable and we don't have to worry about a bailout of another government entity. And so that's where the process currently is. Now, part of the delay in that review was getting the new HUD secretary into place, which since has happened. Dr. Ben Carson has taken over. And so from what I've read, the review is underway. However, there's no ETA on it. So no telling if this is going to be something that only takes a couple of weeks or it takes a couple of months or even takes a couple of years. Who knows at this point? But the process has started. So the biggest question I got, the biggest misconception was I got a lot of texts and phone calls, hey, they're raising mortgage insurance rates on FHA. Not true. They're actually going to stay the same as they were before the announcement at the beginning of January. So we're going to keep it at that 0.85 basis points. So that's what we're using to qualify people for right now. Okay. The second thing I want to talk about today is something that I got a ton of questions about actually starting last week. And it's an executive order that was signed on February 3rd by the new administration. And it has to do with Dodd-Frank. Dodd-Frank, for those of you who don't understand what that is a very large law that went into effect several years ago and has been slowly implemented over time. Probably the most recent action of it, you guys would remember, is the know before you owe rule. When we went from the HUD-1 settlement statement over to the CD or closing disclosure, and we now have that wait period between the time we disclose and the time we can close, right? It gives that buyer that time to know what they owe before they go to closing. So that's the Dodd-Frank rule. So when he signed this executive order, I got a lot of texts. Hey, is he repealing the Dodd-Frank? What's going on? We don't quite understand. Are we still using the CD? Do we still have that wait period? What's the situation? So what I figured I'd do today is read you guys exactly word for word what the executive order says, okay? And it's directive to the Secretary of Treasury in Section 2, which is the person he's asking for the review of, okay? And it says the Secretary of Treasury shall consult with the heads of the member agencies, the Financial Stability Oversight Council, and shall report to the President within 120 days of the date of this order and periodically thereafter on the extent to which existing laws, treaties, regulations, guidance, reporting, and record-keeping requirements and other government policies promote the core principles and what actions have been taken or are currently being taken to promote and support those core principles. That report and all subsequent reports shall identify any laws, treaties, regulations, guidance, reporting, and record-keeping requirements and other government policies that inhibit federal regulation of the United States financial system in a manner consistent with the core principles. Now, if you're not used to reading these things, that can be a little overwhelming. And the number one thing that they talk about in there is core principles. So some of you might be asking what those are. And they're actually in this executive order as well. They're in Section 1, right? So Section 1, the core principles they're talking about are empowering Americans to make independent financial decisions, preventing taxpayer-funded bailouts, fostering economic growth, enabling American companies to be competitive, advancing American interests in influential financial regulatory negotiations, and restoring public accountability. So this is what I get out of this. He's basically charged the director of the Secretary of Treasury to review all of the regulations within Dodd-Frank so far to determine that they benefit all of these core values. In other words, what's working, what's not. And then from there, once we get this review, we'll decide how to move forward. Now, Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to repeal the whole thing. He could change some of it. He may leave everything in place. Who knows at this point? I don't think anybody's going to know until this review process is up. My personal opinion, there are some really good parts of Dodd-Frank that I think are very beneficial for all of us, the consumer as well as the investor themselves. And then there's some parts of it that could probably use some tweaking. All right, so there's a lot to this, but the main thing that I want everybody to understand is that he's not repealing it. This was not an executive order to roll back Dodd-Frank. Okay, there was some executive orders that did release some of the regulations that are on financial institutions, but that's a totally different story. So as of right now, Dodd-Frank is still in place. The know before you owe rule, all that good stuff that has been implemented since the law went into effect, that is all still current. So yes, we are still using the CD. We are not using the HUD-1 settlement statement, and we still have that 3-day wait period between the time we disclose and the time we can close. So I hope that was beneficial for you guys. Just a couple of stories that I felt like were relevant that could help us better serve our clients. Again, we're going to be bringing these to you on a weekly basis, so you can check your inbox. If you're not on the mailing list, just hit me up on facebook.com/teambctx. Leave me a message there, and I'll pop you on the list so that you get it in your inbox every Monday. Guys, it's always an honor to serve you and your clients. If I can help you or your client realize the dream of homeownership, it would be an honor to do so. Please don't forget about me. I wake up every day and I say this all the time. It's not a job, it's a passion. So until I see you guys again next week, I hope you all have an epic and legendary day.